Hello everyone, this is Hakaym and welcome back to some more World of Warships, and today we are taking a look at, once again, ranked battle. It is obviously still occurring, and we are taking out the Tier 8 Imperial Japanese Split Line Destroyer, the Akizuki. And I will want to say something real quick. If I sound a little stuffy or sound a little bit odd, it's probably because I'm still sick. That's actually why there was no video yesterday, and I'm finally feeling better, but I still sound like crap, so I do apologize. So playing on Trident, Alabama, Monarch, 2 Bismarck, Kutuzov, Benson, and Akizuki on the enemy team. North Carolina, 2 Bismarcks, Edinburgh, Benson, and Lo Yang. Now the Akizuki is a good ship. She's a good gunboat. I would almost say close quarters, she's probably one of the better gunboats compared to any of the other destroyers. But she obviously has a few minor flaws. And this is, keep in mind, the Akizuki captain does have IFHE, which I highly recommend. If you want to take Akizuki out for ranked battle, you have to have that skill. If you do not, you're worthless. Hate to say it, but you are. So the IFHE obviously increases the penetration value of your high explosive. Very beneficial because the Akizuki runs 100mm shells, and they will generally break on any tier 8 battleship armor, even tier 8 cruiser armor, and you're going to have a difficult time even penetrating tier 8 destroyer armor. So having IFHE is highly recommended for this destroyer. Now, you can see the enemy team has actually split their destroyers. One went to A and one to B. Do not recommend this if you only have 2 destroyers, because more than likely this Benson is going to get tag teamed, as you do see here, and is, well, unfortunately finding the hard way that he's going to take a lot of damage, and destroyers cannot take a lot of damage. Early game, destroyers should be extremely careful. They need to try to keep their health as much as possible, because unlike most of the tier 8 battleships and some of the tier 8 cruisers, they have no heal. They have no way of repairing. Once they're dead, and the destroyers on rank is a very high commodity. Losing them very early on is going to ensure, more than likely, the loss of the team. So you do have to play very cautiously with destroyers. Yes, being aggressive is beneficial, but at the exact same time, it is not highly recommended. Now, the Kutuzov is unfortunately in a very bad position. He came up behind me, popped a smoke, and has been focused on, and now there are torpedoes incoming. So things aren't looking good for him. More than likely, we probably will lose him. Now, in all this fighting, the enemy team has officially captured B, due to the fact that our team has pretty much gone to the A cap. And there we go. We have just lost our Kutuzov. This early in the battle is definitely not a good thing. Alright, so the Akizuki, as I did mention, is a really good gunboat. Now, what about her torpedoes? Her torpedoes, well, she does have one set. They do have a 10-kilometer range, and you do fire 4 off at a time. They hit decently, not the most amazing as far as damage is concerned, but they are viable. Now, one good thing about the Akizuki, compared to most of the other tier 8s, is she can run both smoke and also the reload booster on the ship. So in I would say almost every other salvo, you can at least get another additional set of torpedoes off on this target. Now, this Bismarck decided to start reversing, and now he's going to pay for it. He is going to eat some torpedoes. He does eat 2 and does get double flooding damage, and he is going to be flooding for some time. This is a very poor mistake on his part. He is going to eat a significant amount of damage. Now, one thing I have noticed, especially considering I have been playing destroyers a lot, was not expecting it, but it really came down to the fact that I don't trust other destroyers. That's why I play destroyers, because I kind of expect, or better yet, I kind of know what I would want a destroyer to be doing, and sometimes you'll have good destroyer captains, and sometimes you have bad destroyer captains, and it can be said for any of the lines. You can have good cruiser captains, you can have bad cruisers and battleships as well. This Bismarck is still flooding. He is going to be very low on health if he does get his repair party back up, hoping to maybe finish him off, hoping an ally would actually finish him off. Now, the Akizuki against the Bismarck secondaries is very, well, I don't highly recommend it. I would have to say the Akizuki does rely on her smokescreen quite a bit, and that's a good thing about the Akizuki is she can whittle down battleships. Now, granted, the damage is not always very high. You can range from around 500 points of health, or 500 points of damage, to about 1500, so it just really depends on where it is hitting. But there the Bismarck has caught on fire. He is trying to heal, but that fire is perma-burning and probably is going to go down and any moment now. There we go, dead Bismarck, and we've earned Liquidator, actually one of the few medals I actually don't usually get to see very often. Now, this friendly battleship came around the corner with his broadside to a North Carolina and also the other battleship, and I see this so many times. Granted, it is a Monarch, but at the exact same time, he should have been aware that he should not be doing this. But the Akizuki, let's actually talk about the ship. I have been talking about her guns, I've been talking about her torpedoes, and they're all great. The fire chance is decent. As you can see, we get a decent amount of fire damage, decent chance of fire, and that's always very beneficial. But there is obviously a downside to the Akizuki compared to any of the other destroyers, is the speed. The speed is terrible. And there we go, earned our second kill of the game, burn that North Carolina down to now we're sitting at 107,000, which is honestly pretty good, all considering that it is ranked and there's not that many ships. So her speed, without an engine boost, she can get up to around 34 knots. There are cruisers faster than her, and most destroyers can at least get to 36 to 37 knots, if not higher. And that's definitely the one downside. Now, the other downside is actually the ship itself, the size of the ship. She's kind of long, she's kind of big, and that is truly a downfall for her, because it does make her a little bit easier hit. There is obviously more of the ship itself to actually land shots on, which means you'll take more damage. So you do have to play very cautiously. You can't always rely on getting away with firing at range like a Kiev, or being able to dodge shots like a Benson or a Lo Yang for that matter. And so with that all said, her detection is actually decent. I would say it's decent. You will still be outspotted by most of the tier 8s. That includes the Kagero, the Benson, the Lo Yang, and yeah, it's a kind of a slight annoyance considering you will get more than likely detected. There we just earned high caliber, and honestly, I really do like the Aki. I think she's a good ship. One nice thing about her shells, especially if you get on a map, say like Neighbors, you can actually fire over islands, and that's a good thing. Close range, the shells do come out of the main guns fairly quick rate, very high velocity, which does allow it to go straight to target. But over a distance, you can see the loftiness of the shells, how they kind of like to hover when they're coming down, and that's actually a good thing, because at long range you can actually land your shots whenever a ship is behind an island. Now, obviously, I did pop my spook screen. There was an Edinburgh, I guess technically is actually the proper way to say it, opening up on us, and I am very afraid of a Edinburgh. It can definitely chew me up. It does have the British AP, so obviously I do smoke up. Now, unfortunately, he is at such a range that he can get undetected. Now, one thing I probably should also mention is whenever you do see a fire on enemy ship, instead of possibly going for additional fires, which I mean, additional fires is always beneficial, your AP is actually very, very strong, and I would almost recommend that you switch over to AP, use your AP, especially against Kiev's. If a Kiev shows you broadside, use your AP, because the Kiev's armor is a little bit thicker than most destroyers, and you can get a significant amount of AP damage. Now at this time, the enemy team has officially captured A and B, and this poor Bismarck is now going to eat some torpedoes from the deceased Edinburgh. Alabama opens up on the Benson and actually knocks him dead, takes him out while he was in his smoke screen. Our team is ahead in points, but we have no caps, and owning caps in ranked is highly recommended. You will lose a game if you don't actually take, well, what should be done, owning caps. So as you can see, I'm obviously pushing towards A. There are incoming torpedoes from the enemy Lo Yang. So Lo Yang is probably heading back towards A. I am getting my guns around. Now the guns turn decent. They're not the quickest things in the world. Probably due to the fact that I don't have expert marksman on this captain. Don't really need it. It looks like the Bismarck did take a torpedo. Lo Yang is a most dangerous threat, does have that hydro, and also will out detect you, not by much, but enough to actually focus you down. Lo Yang pops up in the A cap, and you know what? He is probably going to be running hydro. Now he did drop his torpedoes, and if you are being hydroed as such as I am, one good idea is to actually push the Lo Yang, because he has the advantage. We don't want him to have the advantage. We want him to actually get at a disadvantage. Aki, once again, is actually a really good gunboat. And if we can push this Aki, there we go. Now he's spotted, and we can hopefully finish him off. We are getting help from the friendly battleship. Just need to focus down this Akizuki as quickly as possible. And you can see how quickly we can whittle away a Lo Yang. And there we go. Third kill of the game. And now we can fully capture the A cap. Now we are in a possible position to even assist our friendly North Carolina. But even if we are unable to, we should be able to win this battle fairly easy. So not bad. Good damaging game. And yeah, I get a little cocky in the chat there. So I've experienced my downfall at hydro of a Lo Yang's multiple times, and I'm quite sick of it whenever I see it. But with that, North Carolina is going to go down. Not a bad game. So as you can see, earned a victory, and this battle is actually a little bit old. I am actually past rank 7, as you will see. Earned Confederate and High Caliber, not something you see all too often. Definitely did a lot of work there. Also earned Liquidator, which is definitely not a medal I see all too often. We did 152,289 points of damage, 2 torpedo hits, 378 shell hits, 3 kills, 8 fires. Once again, the Aki has decent fire chance, especially with the very quick reload on the guns. Can definitely get the fires going whenever you see a battleship or even cruisers. Cruisers can be susceptible to fires. 2 floodings and 1 definitive base capture. We were top of the team with a base XP of 2,269. We did 87,139 points of damage against the Bismarck, 16,000 against the North Carolina, around 16,000 against the Lo Yang, 18,000 against the Bismarck, 9,000 against the Edinburgh, and 4,480 against the Benson. So yeah, we did quite a bit of work. Our main guns did around 75,212. Torpedoes did around 30,977. Fires did a beautiful number of 16,000. Floodings did an amazing number of 30,068 points of damage. So with that, this is going to be it for this video of World of Warships. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you like what we saw, hit the like and subscribe button. You guys have a great and fantastic day. Zaijian.